Your home isn't small, it's designed wrong. And that one simple fact is secretly draining your energy every single day. 70% of people feel anxious in their own living rooms, and it has nothing to do with mess. You walk in after work and feel heavy, tense, like the walls are closing in. That's not a space problem, it's psychological. Your environment is sending stress signals to your brain, spiking your cortisol, keeping your nervous system on high alert. And there's one invisible design mistake in your home right now that's doing this. Most people never see it. Stay with me, because fix number 4 is the one neuroscientists say changes everything, and I'm revealing the exact science behind why your home feels wrong. Here's what happened to Thomas. He's 58, retired postal worker with a 1,200 square foot ranch house. For 3 years, he felt trapped in his own home. His wife begged him to move. He almost sold it. But then he discovered something shocking. It was on his house that was broken. It was how his brain was reading the space. And once he fixed that, his doctor noticed his blood pressure dropped 15 points in 2 weeks without medication. I'm walking you through the exact 7 fixes he used, backed by environmental psychology, but I'm not telling you the ending yet. Because what happened by fix 7? His own grandkids didn't believe it. Fix number 1, the 5-object rule. Look at your kitchen counter right now. How many things do you see? Be honest, 10, 15, 22? Here's what's happening inside your brain. Every single object you see is a microtask, a tiny question your subconscious keeps asking over and over. Do I need that? Should I move it? Is that clean? Psychologists call this visual competition, and it's why you can't relax even when your house is technically clean. Thomas had 22 items on his counter. Coffee maker, toaster, mail pile, keys, 3 jars of utensils, a candle he never lit, hand soap, dish soap, sponges, a random plant, vitamins, his wife's reading glasses. Every single time he walked into that kitchen, his nervous system fired up. Not because it was dirty, because his brain was silently processing 22 decisions he didn't even know he was making. The fix is simple but powerful, the 5-object rule. Every visible surface gets a maximum 5 items. Not 6, 5, you choose what you actually love or use every single day. Everything else goes in a drawer, a closet, or straight to donation. Thomas cleared his counter down to 5 things. Coffee maker, 1 plant, a wooden cutting board, a fruit bowl, and a folded dish towel. His wife walked in and literally cried. She said the room could finally breathe. Can you feel that? That's your nervous system letting go. Now here's the thing. This next fix is sneaky because it controls how trapped you feel, and you don't even realize it's happening. Fix number 2, flow blocks. Stand up right now. Walk from your front door to your couch. Can you do it in one smooth, straight line? Or are you dodging a coffee table, sidestepping a chair, squeezing past a side table? That's called a flow block, and here's the neuroscience behind it. Your brain is hardwired to seek open pathways. It's a survival thing. Blocked routes mean danger, no escape, and being trapped. When furniture interrupts your natural movement, your subconscious registers it as a low-grade threat. You feel caged. You feel anxious. You feel frustrated, and you don't even know why. If you've ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went there, that's a flow block messing with your brain. Type flow in the comments if that happens to you. I'm genuinely curious how many of us are living with this without knowing. The psychology-backed fix: create clear sight lines and curved pathways. Pull your furniture 18 inches away from the walls. I know it sounds backwards, but it actually makes the room feel way bigger, not smaller. Arrange your seating in little conversation clusters, not in a straight line against every wall like a waiting room. Make sure you can move through any room in a gentle, natural curve. Thomas moved his couch forward 3 feet. He angled his armchair toward the window instead of the wall. Suddenly, his living room felt 30% larger. He told me his chest physically stopped tightening every time he walked through the door. In just a second, I'm showing you the lighting mistake that's killing your emotional safety, even if you think your lighting is totally fine. But first, something is hiding in your hallway that you need to understand. Fix number 3. The Entryway Ambush. Remember that invisible design mistake I mentioned that's spiking your cortisol? It's right there in your entryway. And it's pure chaos. Here's the psychology. Your front door is your brain's very first safety checkpoint. The second you walk in, your amygdala is scanning. Am I safe here? If your entryway is cluttered with shoes piled up, coats thrown everywhere, and mail stacked on a table, your brain flags danger before you even step all the way inside. You're already stressed before you're even home. Environmental psychologists have a name for this. They call it the threshold effect. The first 3 feet inside your door sets your entire emotional tone for the next 4 hours. Thomas had what I call a shoe graveyard by his front door. 10 pairs just toppled over each other. Every single time he opened that door, his shoulders went up to his ears. The fix costs almost nothing. Clear a 3-foot breathing zone at your door. Grab a $10 wall hook from Walmart. Get a $5 basket and slide it under a little console table from Goodwill. Add one soft element. A plant, a candle. One framed photo, that's literally it. Before chaotic mess. After, a basket holding shoes, one hook with one coat, a small plant sitting on the table. Your brain reads this completely differently now. It says, I'm welcome, I'm home, I'm safe. Thomas fixed this in 15 minutes. His background anxiety dropped within 3 days. If peaceful, cozy homes light you up inside, hit subscribe. The next video reveals the bedroom mistakes stealing your deep sleep, and you're gonna want to see it. Now this next one makes people uncomfortable. Most people completely skip it. And that's exactly why their home never actually changes. Fix number 4. The lighting lie. Walk into your living room tonight at 8 p.m. What lights do you have on? If it's that big overhead ceiling light, you just triggered your brain's alarm system. I'm serious. Here's the circadian science. Bright overhead lighting mimics midday sun. It sends a signal to your brain to stay alert, stay vigilant, stay productive. It literally activates your sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight mode. You cannot feel cozy under interrogation lighting. It's biologically impossible. Emotionally, harsh light destroys intimacy. It kills safety. It kills warmth. You feel exposed instead of held. The neuroscience-backed fix. Layer 3 soft, warm light sources in every room. Keep them all at eye level. Table lamps, floor lamps, string lights, candles. Turn off that overhead light completely after 6 p.m. Go to the hardware store and swap every bulb to 2700 Kelvin warm white. It's like $3 per bulb. Same room. Overhead light off. 3 lamps were glowing softly around the space. Completely different feeling. Your nervous system responds like you just walked into a hug instead of a hospital waiting room. Thomas bought 2 $12 lamps from Walmart and added $5 fairy lights above his bookshelf. His evenings are completely transformed. He started reading again for the first time in years. His wife said the house went from cold to cozy overnight. But here's where it gets deeper. Because lighting is just the surface. There's an emotional layer most people completely ignore, and it's silently killing the connection in your home. Fix number 5. The emotional desert. Stop right now and look around your living room. What's hanging on your walls? Is it generic art you grabbed from HomeGoods? Beige throw pillows that came with the couch? Nothing personal at all? That's what I call an emotional desert. And psychologically, this is actually devastating. When your space reflects zero personal meaning, your nervous system doesn't recognize it as yours. You feel like a guest in your own house. You feel detached. You feel unsafe. Attachment theory in psychology says humans need what are called identity anchors. Visual proof that we belong somewhere. Without them, you're basically living in a hotel. You can't fully relax because nothing in that space says, you matter here. The fix costs $0. Create one small memory corner in each room. Hang up family photos. Put your dad's old watch in a little shadow box. Frame your kid's artwork in a thrift store frame. Propagate a plant cutting from your grandmother's garden and put it on the shelf. Thomas hung 3 family photos in his narrow hallway. His wedding day. His kids when they were toddlers. His parents are standing on their farm. He passes them every single day now. He told me he finally feels anchored. He feels seen. He feels at home. This isn't decoration. This is identity. Your space should know exactly who you are. Comment cozy below if you're ready to feel safe in your own space again. I reply to every single comment. And there's one texture mistake quietly destroying your sense of safety. I'm showing you next. Fix number 6. Emotional temperature. Your home has two temperatures: physical temperature and emotional temperature, and most homes are emotionally cold. Here's the neuroscience. Texture signals safety directly to your brain. Soft, layered fabrics activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's your rest and digest mode. Hard, bare surfaces keep you in alert mode. It's completely primal. We're literally wired to seek out softness for survival. Walk into a room with bare walls, a hard leather couch, and empty wood floors. How do you feel? Lonely, unwelcome, cold. Now walk into the same room after you add a chunky throw blanket, soft pillows, and a plush rug. Instant emotional relief. The thrift store fix: add 3 soft layers to every single room. Throw a blanket on the couch, one cushion on the chair, a rug under your coffee table. Hit up Goodwill or just repurpose what you already own and move it around. Before, hard, cold, uninviting. After, throws, pillows, and one soft rug. Same exact space. But now it's 10 degrees warmer emotionally. Thomas added a $6 fleece throw from Walmart, a $4 pillow from a thrift store, and moved a rug from his bedroom into his living room. The change was instant. His space went from feeling hostile to feeling like it was holding him. Like this video, if your home never feels quite right, it helps YouTube share this with people who really need it. Now here's the fix people absolutely hate. The one they resist hard, but it's the one that changes everything. Fix number 7. The hardest truth. This is it. The uncomfortable one that nobody wants to hear. But here's the raw truth. Your home doesn't feel small because it's actually small. It feels small because you own way too much stuff. And here's the psychology behind it. Every single item you own creates something called decision fatigue. Your brain is constantly asking, where does this go? Do I still need it? Should I clean it? Should I move it? You're burning mental energy on objects you don't even consciously notice anymore. Clutter isn't about mess. Clutter is postponed decisions. And postponed decisions are just anxiety you're carrying around every single day. Thomas filled up 4 big garbage bags with stuff he'd been keeping just in case for over a decade. Books he never read, clothes that didn't fit anymore, kitchen gadgets still sitting in the box with the price tag on. He told me it felt like he just shed 50 pounds of invisible weight off his shoulders. The life-changing rule, the 1-year test. If you haven't actually used it, worn it, or loved it in the last 12 months, let it go. Donate it, sell it, trash it. Start with just 1 drawer, 1 shelf, 1 corner. Be ruthless about it. Overflowing closet before. Clean, minimal, breathing closet after. Can you see it? That's literal space for your mind to finally breathe. And here's what happened to Thomas by the very end. His grandkids came over and asked if he renovated the whole house. His doctor asked him if he started taking anxiety medication because his vitals were that dramatically different. His wife said she had never, ever seen him this calm in 30 years of marriage. But here's the thing, nothing structural changed. He didn't move. He didn't spend thousands of dollars. He just shifted 7 small things and his entire nervous system completely reset. Let me recap all 7 for you. 5 object rule to kill. Visual noise open pathways to eliminate. Flow blocks clear your entryway to pass the threshold test layer. Soft lighting to activate rest mode. Add personal anchors to end the emotional desert. Use soft textures everywhere to signal safety. Let go of excess to eliminate decision fatigue. These aren't just decorating tips. These are nervous system resets. This is emotional architecture. This is psychological recalibration for your brain. Your home isn't small, it's ready. It's ready to feel spacious, soft, and safe the second you stop fighting against it and start designing for how your brain actually works. Pick 1 fix today. Just 1, clear off 1 surface, move 1 piece of furniture. Add 1 lamp, notice how your breathing gets deeper. Notice how your shoulders drop down. These tiny shifts start to accumulate, and pretty soon you walk through your front door and feel exactly what you've been craving this whole time. Peace. Subscribe for more cozy home psychology rooted in real neuroscience. Watch the next video where I break down the bedroom mistakes destroying your sleep and exactly how to fix them tonight. Drop cozy in the comments and tell me which fix you're trying first. I genuinely want to hear your story. Your home isn't just where you live. It's where your nervous system decides every single day if you're actually safe. These shifts help you reclaim that one intentional step at a time. You deserve this peace. Go get it.